The views and opinions during this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the sponsors or executive producers. This program contains conversation, discussion, debate, which a truly free society would neither fear nor suppress. However, in some socially inept areas, certain religious fanatics and ultra-sensitive and extreme political affiliates violate your First Amendment rights by attempting to control what you watch, listen to, write, and speak. We feel that this is unconstitutional and un-American. And now we present the MKULTRASOUND podcast. Live from Studio Diablo in Chicago, Illinois, this is MKULTRASOUND.
Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Get with the countdown.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man. Blast off for Kicksville. Shake this square world. Blast off for Kicksville.
I speak jive.
Forget it, man.
Church was boring today. Sundays are fucked up because I really don't like church. I just want it to be over, but
Church?
I've got to do something.
You didn't go to church. You did not. What, the Church of...
The Poison Mind. It is the best song by
Church of
Culture Club.
Skin?
Actually, I think Miss You Blind is good by Culture Club, but Church of the Poison Mind. Yeah. Wow.
Just blew my mind.
Weren't we
again
just
with
here?
that.
Weren't we just here the other day?
Isn't this yesterday?
Reed Himes has been in constant touch. He had a good time here. I'm going to have him back on quite a bit in September that we're doing with Jared from ChemLab. That is so exciting. Is that 4 on that one? So I think I should turn her up a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, you're 4. Are you good, Ty?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming back, Cassie. And we have Angela Denk with us, and we've got a lot to talk about, don't we?
We do. We do have some things.
Yeah. This is going to be a lot of fun. And so to talk about Reed, what a fucking show, man. I think that was our best one.
I think so, too. You know, he's just a mad legend. So that right there excites me. And we could have, you're right, many shows
Yeah,
like that, and you still wouldn't get...
You know, when you're gone...
You'd start to get in there.
You're going to be gone the 25th, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to have him on it, because I'm going to have the guys from Joy Thieves on.
So you're going to have him on when I'm gone?
I'm going to have him on as... have him on as a co-host to have industrial guys on. I think it's a no-brainer. Yeah. And then we have a show September 1st. I'm going to do just me with the guys from Electric Revolution, my favorite rock and roll band from... Oh, God, these guys are good. You like them, don't you?
I like them.
They're
cool
fucking
guys.
fun, yeah. And speaking of them, the new Angel album is coming out October 4th. Finally, your boyfriend, Danny.
Yeah.
Hi, Danny. If you're going to come to Chicago and hang out, I've got a spare room. And we'll talk toys, talk rock and roll, talk Angel. That'll be fun. And I'll take him on the food tour. Of Chicago food tour. Yeah. Get him fat like me. I was told I was fat. Okay. Ty, you had something you were going to talk about. This is awesome. Go ahead.
No, I was just commenting on Epstein.
Yeah, go.
He was found unresponsive, so, the quote-unquote suicide, which, first of all, let's give it a little bit more than that before we talk about if it was suicide or
Yeah,
not.
he was connected to a lot
of people, and we're talking about Prince Andrew, and we're talking about, the very heads of state and big
Clinton,
important
Trump,
people.
My old boss, Les Wexner, that runs the limited L Brands, Pink, Victoria's Secrets.
Right.
It was a big buddy of his.
So check it out. He, first of all, it has been revealed that the guards were not checking on him every half hour like they should have been. Now, he tried to hang himself a couple weeks ago.
Right.
At least they said. They saw marks on his neck. It was never confirmed if he did or didn't. So he really should have been on suicide watch, as it is for the victims.
He was a solitary, right?
He was not.
No?
Actually, they put him in with a cop, get this, who murdered and kidnapped 4 people in a drug deal gone bad. So since he was on high watch as well, they put them together. And in fact, that cop was the one who saved Epstein's life the first time by alerting the guards. So they finally separate them, okay? And they weren't checking on him. They were saying he lived like a pig in a sty.
The cop?
No, Jeffrey Epstein.
No.
He would eat off of the floor, which is strange and weird enough. But this is the same man who likes to
Fuck
have
little girls.
Yeah, he's a pedophile and a sex slaver and just a bad man. And not only that, he got caught doing this many, many years ago. And when they put him in jail that time, he went to work every day, 6 days of the week. They would leave jail and go to work.
Talk about privilege.
Yeah, very privileged.
Money buys lots of it. Well, this
we all
fucking
know
guy.
that, yeah. So, anyways, he also was. He also told the guards that he reported that he thought somebody was out to kill him. He was also being targeted for extortion, and they could hear him asking other inmates for their numbers. So they think he was arranging to put money in their accounts. Who knows why?
Oh, well, yeah, protection.
But there's so much good conspiracy and intrigue and interest in this story. And
I don't think we'll ever find out the truth. Do you?
Well, they killed him.
Oh.
This is what happened.
So he's dead?
Yeah, whatever. Just shut that up.
Yeah, good.
That shut that up.
So you gotta wonder who else is fucking playing around
Really
with the
do, and
kid.
it's the real like hidden, covert things that scare me. The things that aren't in the light of day.
That came up yesterday, but we'll talk about it later. But what you're talking about, and it briefly came up when I was out yesterday, and she said pretty much the same thing. And yeah, they shut him the fuck up. Because you imagine if he would have went to court and talked.
Yeah.
On trial,
Bring a lot of
and
people
to
down.
just buy him a little extra whatever in jail because he was going down. Here's one of my favorite things, Blagojevich. Oh, coming home. I hope so.
Our pride and joy from Illinois.
Well, aren't they all? Were you a songwriter or something once? So
By the way, our song sounds fucking awesome.
I can't wait.
We
I'm
recorded
so excited.
it, yeah.
We're gonna play it on the show soon. And I saw the video of Danny jamming. That guy's such a good guitar player.
Oh, we
living with him here. This guy, her guitar player, lived here. We just fucking jammed all the time on the porch.
That's all we do. That's all
Nice.
Danny and I do.
He's good.
And if we're not jamming, we're listening to music.
Yeah.
We never watch like TV or.
Do you listen to Kiss with him? Because Danny's a
We
big
do.
Kiss
We
fan.
listen to everything.
Yeah.
All kinds of music.
So Blago, and here's what I think, because Lori Lightfoot, our lesbian black mayor, that's always like, just like Jussie Smollett, everything's like, who is openly gay and black? Like Lori Lightfoot, our first lesbian black mayor. Everything comes with that tag, right?
I don't like that either.
She's just a mayor. Okay?
Yeah, don't say black. Don't say
How about-
lesbian.
Yeah.
Just say mayor.
Mayor.
Right.
Yeah. But that we're in Chicago. Liberal Central. Lefty Central. Liberal's one thing. Lefty's different, extreme, and that's where we live. And I love seeing your smile.
It's finally out.
I've known this lady. I've known her for like almost 20 years, and she is fucking fun. And look at,
Well, I'm a
now you're
struggle.
glowing.
Yeah.
I love those glasses too. I actually asked her to wear those.
I made a point of bringing them because
Thanks,
of
baby.
that. I'm trying to get there, man. Give me a minute.
This is awesome. So, thank you. But Blago, I think basically it's because Lori Lightfoot and our governor Fred Flintstone are against him getting out. I think Trump's just spiting him, and because he's dangling like a carrot. Well, I might, when he lets other people out, you don't hear about it until they're out. He's basically just like getting press for himself because he's an egomaniac.
Right.
He loves the sound of his own fucking retard. Oh, his sped voice.
Trump's hard voice.
Trump tart. I can't. And him with his little hands doing this all the time. Fucking reminds me of Lars Ulrich. Lars Ulrich reminds me of Trump forever, right? I can't stand either one of those
kind
two.
of bratty and whiny and
Yeah,
like, I'm not getting my way. Like real animated and like
I know. But anyway, bottom line is Blago, he's done his time. Let him fucking hang out with his wife and
let
family.
that man go.
Yeah, his hair's white.
I can't even believe he's been in there that long.
I know, who does that much fucking time?
My God, that is insane.
Make an example. Somebody said, wonder what Trump's going to get for letting him go. My friend who listens to this show. And I said, Trump will get President Obama's Senate seat.
That's what he tried to sell. Yeah, it's a political
Senate
joke.
seat.
So can we have an update on the Asian in that story?
Oh, I'm going to refer to her now as the Oriental. Okay, you ready for this?
Let's go.
It's been a fuck of a week.
Easy.
Okay. She's difficult, but I like her. I've put a lot of phone hours in with this woman, and she's intelligent, but she analyzes everything. And well, one night I don't know how it came up, but I can't see yellow, the color yellow when you on a highlighter on white.
Okay.
I can't see it. And she said, "It's funny you have yellow fever." She's funny. She's funny. I know, right?
What do you mean by difficult? You said she's difficult.
I don't want to get into that, but I want to talk about the good shit.
All right, good.
So Saturday turned into Friday and Saturday. She took me. She came here. She got through this house and I cooked for us. We did some barbecue and she loved my lotus. And I don't know if she went through my medicine cabinet when she went to the bathroom. The one time I put ping pong balls in there and somebody opened it, ping pong balls came out. People are nosy. I should have put some Magnum condoms in there.
Just a bunch of them, like box
Magnum
after
condoms,
box.
Syringes,
like 40 bottles of lube.
No, that's on my bedside stand. You think I'm kidding? Good thing I look. I moved the speculum into the porn room.
So she was okay with the porn room?
Well, she kind of already knew that I work in that world, so she was prepared for it. Kind of told her, but she didn't step all the way in. I want her to. I'm like, go in there, look at the audio. She's like, that's okay. But Friday, so we left here. She took me to the Fine Arts Building, downtown, and we saw a jazz performance.
Nice. I was going to say, I used to take music
We
lessons
saw a violin cello rehearsal, and I got to see a puppet show.
Nice.
Okay, I love fucking puppets, and I'm like, so maybe there's 15 people watching this 6-minute performance. No matter what, if it's a comedian, whatever, Alex gets to be part of the show, right? So, and there's a birthday thing, and they gave out like 6 birthday hats, with the rubber bands on them right here. Sure. So right at the climax, my big fucking head in this black wig, right at the climax of the fucking performance, the fucking band breaks, the hat shoots off my fucking head like it was planned. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, man.
And she's watching this the whole time.
Oh, God, I don't know how fucking... Okay, this is like our first real date or whatever you want to call
cute,
it.
Though.
Oh, my God, so I'm in tears. Like, first of all, I love puppets, and I'm in this... It was the Chicago Puppet Studio. They also put on the Chicago International Puppet Theater Festival in January, which I'm going to go to this year. Yeah. So Blair Thomas, he's the artistic director of the Chicago Puppet Studio / festival thing. So I'm like, possible guest. So I shook his hand. I introduced myself.
Right.
And I'm like, what do you know about Charles Band and the Puppet Master movies? And I've got all the figures you saw.
I did.
And I love those. And I'm friends with Charles Band now after like 30 fucking years of working with the guy. And that's a whole nother story, because my friendship with Charles Band is like, even like his actresses and shit have come and stayed with me. This is tight. Nice. So anyway, I love the Puppet Master. And then so this guy didn't know, Blair Thomas. Then I asked him if he saw Craig Ferguson with the puppets. Like Craig Ferguson would do the puppet songs. I'm like, Craig Ferguson went on after Letterman. No, I'm like, am I I'm too weird for you? Or we're talking like maybe there's a community where they're like only like grassroots puppet shit. I don't know. And I will find out in January, because I will go to that thing. So
neat.
Can I do a quick thing real quick? And everybody just hang on for 30 seconds.
Who do you think? A gang hit? Screwed up drugstore? Unlucky John? Or an unhappy love affair? Hey, don't tell me this shit's getting to you. Not Harry Callahan. Say it ain't so.
No, this stuff isn't getting to me. The shootings, the knifings, the beatings. Old ladies being bashed in the head for their Social Security checks. Teachers being thrown out of a 4th floor window because they don't give A's. That doesn't bother me a bit.
Come on, Harry, take it easy.
Or this job either, having to wade through the scum of this city, being swept away by bigger and bigger waves of corruption, apathy, and red tape. No, that doesn't bother me. But you know what does bother me?
What?
You know what makes me really sick to my stomach?
What?
It's watching you stuff your face with those hot dogs. Nobody, I mean nobody, puts ketchup on a hot dog.
Okay, so yesterday I was at Hot Dog Fest.
That's right.
And that was supposed to be our date. And she was early. We met, of all places, under one of the statues of one of my heroes, Ben Franklin. Yeah. And Ben Franklin, and I mentioned to her, was the charter member in the United States of the Hellfire Club. It was the Gentleman Satanic Club thing over in Europe. They were like Mason thing.
We gotta have a whole show on that.
Oh, fuck yeah. Oh.
Totally.
And I should have the guys from Hellfire Club on.
Yes, you
The
should.
Electric Hellfire
Yeah,
Club.
nice
Yes.
little
One of my very favorite
segue,
bands.
yeah.
Well, so I'd already done my 45-minute rounds, and she's there, and I love when people were early. I hate when people were late. She's actually been early, like, every time. I just adore that. And she's also, would you say exotic looking?
No, I said she looks very elegant.
Yeah, and she is.
Delicate and feminine and
she is. She's
beautiful
fucking,
flow.
she's gorgeous. Anyway, but difficult. It's like Peter Parker, brilliant but lazy, when Doc Ock said that in Spider-Man 2. Anyhow, so
Aren't you afraid she's going to hear this and hear?
I know
you
she's going to
saying
hear it.
difficult?
I know she's hearing it.
So, but it can't be in a bad way.
I texted it to her. No, she knows.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So I did my rounds because I'm like, I take the hot dogs serious. I worked at a place in the Ohio Valley Mall in the 80s called their Dog House. It was like the Baskin Robbins of hot dogs. So I learned a lot. But then I moved here. It's like pizza. And I learned about Vienna beef and really good shit. And so I've been going to Hot Dog Fest 4 or 5 years now. And I had the best fucking time yesterday because we did our rounds and we both had wristbands on, but neither one of us drank. We did. And when I'm with her, I won't drink. So she should hang out. So we looked at all the options, and she chose the guac dog. Guacamole, corn roasted, poblano on it, spicy mayo, and cheddar. I went to the Byron's line because Byron's is here, and they've catered the White House when Obama was president. It's classier than Trump's McDonald's. Anyway, Byron's, so I had the jumbo style hot dog, Chicago style, and she just wanted a regular Chicago dog, and she doesn't eat. She's tiny. But so I bought her the half of the jumbo Chicago style Byron's hot dog because I wanted her to enjoy girth. And I don't know if she caught on to that one. And then we were hanging out. I put a blanket out. We're like on the blanket, sipping water. I was doing the lemonade shake thing. And then the second round, it was great because like she's in one line, I'm in the other. And the winner, the best fucking 2 hot dogs I've ever had in my life. And I can only eat them twice a year because I have not looked up the calories, sodium content, or any on these fuckers yet. I got a smoked alligator sausage with Asian chili sauce and caramelized onions.
How was that? What did that taste like?
It was fucking phenomenal.
I would love to try that.
Okay, they make it at Chicago Dog House on Fullerton, and it's 24 hours, and they deliver. So when you're stoned,
and what's the cross street?
You just look up Chicago's Dog House on Fullerton. You'll recognize it. I mean, I've been by it a million fucking times. It's by Liars Club. It's close to Liars, so you can actually see it from Ashland.
Okay.
They had the 2 best hot dogs. And then she ordered, and it took like 15 minutes to make hers. The Wagyu dog XL, which is a 3rd pound jalapeno nacho cheese infused into it.
And the beef.
Into the beef and jardinera. Oh. And this thing was like fucking heaven. It was
Wagyu
huge.
Beef, it's expensive too, Wagyu beef.
Well, they were all $10.
Well, but still, that is.
It was but it's it's a good. I mean, the alligator one was great too.
Yeah.
And when I take like say Danny from Angel Comes to Town, not really. No.
She's adventurous anyway and trying.
She is.
New.
But this is not about her. It's about hot dogs. So then we're on the blanket, we're hanging, and then so you go through $60 of coupons really fast.
Coupons.
You know what I'm talking about,
Ron
White.
White.
Hey,
I love Ron White.
I know. Do you like Ron White?
Do I like what?
Ron White, the comedian.
Oh, I do know who he is, but I don't know if I like him.
By the way, Angela Denk is here. You're allowed to talk, you know.
I know. I'm just kind of sitting back and letting.
So, and then I Then I went and got in line, and I had like 20-minute line to get yogurt for us. Because I had like 6 tickets, or 10 tickets left, so that's enough for 2 cups of yogurt. And so it went through the $60, really, like in like maybe 2.5 hours. And that's with like laying in this with a blanket. It was very enjoyable. The people weren't too annoying. There was like a couple of Chads going around with their full jerseys and Nikes and their socks up and ball cap backwards, like strutting around like,
I'm American.
oh yeah, USA.
Hot dogs.
Anyway,
Chevrolet.
so if I want to do a quick recap on it, Hot Dog Fest was the best one I've ever been to. I had wonderful company, beautiful. Okay, then I'm going to bring you to this part, and then we're going to stop talking about the Oriental. So she's laying down and eyes closed. And I'm thinking, here's my opportunity to kiss her.
Right.
And I'm like, I mean, it was perfect. The mood was right.
Right.
And I'm looking at her little body, and she's got beautiful profile. And like, I really dig her, like whole fashion sense, like you said, elegant. And I'm living in a fucking Me Too world right now, man. And you don't know. You don't fucking know. I was laying here, my eyes closed. You fucking attacked me. Who knows? So you've got to be careful now.
So did you do it?
No.
No.
Oh, I was about to say that.
No, I wanted to.
That sounds cute.
It was a good
I
story.
mean, I don't know if I want to see her
Yeah,
again.
date.
If I do see her again, I'm just gonna grab her little face and kiss her. But I thought there was my opportunity, and I'm like, you got to think. I mean, I'm a public figure. Okay, I don't need this shit, and especially with people around. Oh my God, you see what he just did to that girl? You don't know. You do not know what, as a man, what to do anymore.
I mean, it is smart that you're thinking like that because
you have to.
Literally with everything.
Yeah.
So I totally get that, but at the same time, that would have been cute.
I wanted to. Angela, are you ready for your thing? We're going to do this real quick, this thing about freedom, and we're going to come back and talk to our new friend, Angela Denk.
You know, this used to be a hell of a good country. I can't understand what's going on with it.
Man, everybody got chicken, that's what happened. Hey, we can't even get into like a second-rate hotel. I mean, a second-rate motel, you dig? They think we're gonna cut their throat or something, man. Like, they're scared, man.
Oh, they're not scared of you. They're scared of what you represent to them.
Hey, man. All we represent to them, man, is somebody who needs a haircut.
Oh, no. What you represent to them is freedom.
What the hell's wrong with freedom, man? That's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what it's all about, all right. But talking about it and being it, that's two different things. I mean, it's real hard to be free when you are bought and sold in the marketplace. Of course, don't ever tell anybody that they're not free, because then they're going to get real busy killing and maiming to prove to you that they are. Oh, yeah, they're going to talk to you and talk to you and talk to you about individual freedom. But they see a free individual, it's going to scare them.
No, well, don't make them running scared.
No, it makes them dangerous.
And that's from Easy Rider. Yeah, Dennis Hopper, Jack Nicholson, Peter Fonda. What a great fucking movie.
What a great writing right there.
Do you remember in that film when they went to the prostitutes? That was the whorehouse was what the House of the Rising Sun was about.
Yeah,
and
New Orleans. Yeah.
The dark-haired one, you know who that is?
Karen Black?
No, Tony Basil.
Tony Basil.
Yeah. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine.
Mickey,
yeah, and she was hot.
She was in there, yeah.
She was hot.
Have you seen her recently?
No.
She can still dance.
Really?
She's absolutely beautiful and amazing.
Is she real? I gotta check
Cyndi
her out.
Lauper, same thing.
Cyndi Lauper. Okay, I had a sex dream about Cyndi Lauper.
Adorable.
Yeah, I had a sex dream about Cyndi Lauper.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I did. And I told Jello Biafra's girlfriend at the time about it. I was like, I had a sex dream about Cyndi Lauper.
Jello used to do naked sit-ups at Al's house.
I've heard. But Cyndi Lauper, I had a sex dream about her as she looks now. This is like 15 years ago, but not how she was then, because I couldn't stand her then.
Right.
But she is fucking matured.
But now, yeah.
Gorgeous fucking
Now
woman.
I'm nostalgic for that time, but I wasn't a big fan then either.
Angela, tell us why you're here, other than the fact that I invited you.
Yes, you invited me, but I think I'm here to talk maybe about medical cannabis.
We'll start with that.
Maybe cannabis in general.
Give us some background on yourself.
So we'll start with I'm a writer, and I really try to use my voice to talk about mental illness and mental health, but I draw a line between these things because I think there's a huge dialogue on mental health going on, which is wonderful, but we kind of don't want to talk about the illness, the weird, ugly parts, which leaves people feeling way more isolated. So I'm using my blog to talk about those things. I also am a really big proponent of medical cannabis, especially for drug addicts to treat, dual diagnosis, we call it. You're an addict and you also have mental illness. And, putting it bluntly.
Right here.
Right. So I have had arguments over the years with doctors. I'm so excited that I have a medical cannabis card. I made my physician write in my file, patient says she's a drug addict and doesn't want anything she can overdose on.
Are you an addict?
Absolutely.
What were you on?
Well, I had the hardest times with heroin.
Really?
Yeah, many years ago.
Okay.
But, I had that. Adderall just absolutely came in and kicked my ass when I thought I was all better and over it. And that was such a good wake-up call that I have to remember, oh, shit, if you can get addicted and die from it, I got this. I'm going to do it. So I can't die from weed, bottom line. And I know that's not the greatest tagline for medical marijuana, but it's part of the conversation. There are some of us who need something, and it shouldn't be narcotics.
Do you relapse? Have you relapsed, honestly, into any kind of opiates at all?
No, not. The heroin thing was, let me think, about 20 years ago. I can say that ended fully, and then Adderall came around 2011, 2012, and since then, it's just been weed. I had a good year of drinking, but that didn't help.
So you need something harder.
Something. Right. Like you said, something. Yeah.
Something, and doctors want to give me Xanax, which is ridiculous. I've been discharged from their care because they say, well, if I take 3 milligrams of Xanax every day, I'll develop a tolerance and then I'll have breakthrough attacks. You'll have to give me more. Also, I tried to kill myself with pills. Please don't give me a bunch of these.
I've been there, and it didn't work. Right. It didn't take. Yeah, not that long ago, actually. But what was your overdose experience like?
The intentional or accidental. There was an.
Okay, let's do both. Okay. The intentional.
The intentional, I don't know, and that's what's so scary about mental illness and suicidal ideation to me. I tell people it just came like a wave. I was 19, living in an apartment with friends, and there was a pill bottle, and I just started taking them. I remember the phone ringing. It was.
Did you consciously want to?
I don't know what I was doing. I was just eating pill after pill while the phone rang, and I snapped out of it once I'd probably down 20, 22. I don't know how many. And I went and found my roommate and said, I don't know what I just did. And then I slept for 2 days. They cleared, we were kids. They cleared the bongs out of the apartment. They were scared I was going to die.
Okay, so got attention.
Did you
end up going to the hospital?
No. The grapevine of friends, though, got a hold of my father, who's a wonderful human, and he drove out. And
that's great.
He checked on me. I puked up chemical foam sometime in the middle of this, and
I was going to tell. I was feeling so close to the Asian lady yesterday. That I was getting ready to talk to her about my attempt because I felt that comfortable with her, and I hardly any but Cassie knows, and this isn't that long ago, and I intentionally tried to, and I wanted to tell her this, but something happened and we didn't have any closure. So I don't know. Now she knows, but okay. Talk about the unintentional.
So the unintentional was with heroin, and I want to say it was interesting to me. I'd been clean.
Were you shooting or snorting?
The night I overdosed, I actually snorted. I'd previously been shooting. I thought I was over it and done. And then my very first love, he OD'd on heroin and died. And this bizarre thing happened where you get like the one more time for Mike mentality. For some reason now, after a year clean, I'm at a dealer's house in Gary. And I'm
Gary?
buying heroin.
There's drugs there?
There's drugs everywhere.
I'm sorry.
No,
I couldn't
it's
help
okay. No, but
Welcome to America.
man, I got high as hell before his wake, which is disgusting.
Oh, my
kind of in
God.
retrospect. I mean, he died from heroin. He overdosed. So me and one of my best friends are snorting heroin, and then we got to do a little coke to pull our shit together so we seem presentable at his wake. And I think that was it. I think the combination, because then we brought some home, and after the wake we snorted some more, and I remember getting very sleepy. And then I was on the floor covered in my own puke. There were paramedics.
That's hot.
It was like the whole
the needle, like Pulp Fiction thing?
Yes, Pulp Fiction
Whoa.
thing. Whole deal in my underwear, vomit on myself. So that was that. And that's the last time I did heroin.
You know, it's when you talk about the wake, Jamie Duffy's memorial, everybody got fucked up. It was we lost a good friend a couple years back, and that's what the Cold Waves festivals all about, suicide awareness. And I want to talk to you about that. Suicide. I wore this for you, by the way.
What is that?
It's a razor blade.
Oh,
When I was in high school and I was a punk rock band, Phantasm.
Yeah.
I had one of these, and a couple years ago I bought it again because I'm like, I want to that's kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm an old motherfucker, but I'm punk rock at heart. I really am, although not subscribed to the fashion. So anyway, and your blog is Coffee or Suicide? Or
It's called Coffee or Suicide, and sometimes I struggle with that title. Do you guys remember, it was like a year ago, this whole little pop culture philosophy popped up. Every day you have a choice of you can kill yourself or drink a cup of coffee. Which am I going to do? And it tickled me. I was like, oh my God, it's
I
the
like it. I
truth.
like
And
that. It's a good title.
Well, and it was a nice umbrella for all the weird writing that I do. Like, I'm just going to write about everything I do instead of killing myself, because writing is therapy for me very much. It's how I don't even know what I think sometimes.
I'm the same exact way. I have so many notebooks. I just write.
Yeah.
Writing is
until I write
therapeutic.
It is.
Like,
I sort it out.
I'll do like lists.
This is
of
what I wrote
anything.
in this book, and I wrote about everything
Oh.
that bothered me, and it was up all night scratching with silver pen on black. But that's writing
awesome.
is very
You
therapeutic.
made that look
It
extra
is.
cool, man. I've
Yeah,
never
I'm
seen anybody
envious.
that put so much into it. Like that.
You know,
Oh, that really is neat, though.
yeah,
I really like that.
I'm going to read one of these things when
Yeah.
we get to after the next break. But yeah, this is
I
these are
as
the
well,
two I
right?
wrote about. An ex that was a heroin addict.
We should bring our ratings in one time and do.
Yeah, that would be
You
fun.
know that?
Well, I want to
All of
do.
us.
Yeah, and
Every one of us.
Yeah, well, I think we should all do a spoken word somewhere.
Yeah.
And you're great. I read your thing, and I still want to talk about mental illness and drugs and suicide. So, have you been through the suicide thing other than just the pills? Have you ever cut or gun or anything?
No, just the time I took
Okay.
the pills, and I fight. I don't want to. Well, yeah, I kind of fight with that.
You fight
suicidal-
depression?
Oh yeah.
Every day?
Yes.
do.
Yes.
I definitely
Depression.
do.
The Asian gets that one. Go ahead.
My official diagnosis is that I have PTSD, which that's a hard thing
My brother
to
has
say
that.
because I feel like it's so associated with people who have been to war that I feel like an asshole being like PTSD.
You feel like a
like,
whiner.
oh,
No, I
were you
totally
in
get that.
Kuwait? No. But that's my official diagnosis. It's because of some flashbacks, some intrusive thoughts that come on as very visual flashes of violent things. And what they've told me is that I have secondary bipolar, which according to my therapist means I'm not actually bipolar. I grew bipolar methods of coping with life by having untreated PTSD my whole life.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
A little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of, it was new to me when they said it, but I've kind of lost my train of thought. Where we were going with that.
It's not like a chemical imbalance. It's like something you picked up on.
Yeah, well, it's
Kind
just
of.
yeah,
Your coping
so.
methods.
yeah, coping mechanisms
Yeah.
that I grew. But there was a point before I started rambling
Bipolar.
about it.
Being diagnosed as not bipolar.
Yeah, being diagnosed with PTSD.
What do they give you
But-
for that?
Nothing.
Really?
You know, well, I
Wow.
have a medical weed card for
Xanax?
that. That's what they give
There
me
you
for
go.
that. That's why I have medical cannabis. But can I talk a little bit about
Please.
Okay.
You've got the floor.
so
It's your
here's-
show.
Here's
It is.
where I am with the medical cannabis. So we've got this diagnosis of PTSD. Here's the medicine, but it's Schedule 1, which means the federal government says it has no medical value, which means they will not there's very, very limited money to go towards Schedule 1 studies. A lot of people say it can't be studied. That's not true. But what's like our mark of good science, right? It's replicable studies. You have to do it over and over and over again. You can't take a fluke. You can't have one anecdote and say, boom, there's the science. There's not enough fucking money to have replicable studies. So now you have people not just with PTSD, but all sorts of conditions, and it is the Wild West out there, like the strain variants with strength, sativa, indica. How are we going to do it? Are we going to eat it? Are you going to vape it? Are you going to smoke it? This has to be studied because some weed will make it worse for me. I don't know what anyone else's experience is, but it can throw me into anxiety. Or
is that a certain strain of weed?
Most sativa strains.
I don't understand
will
what
do
that
that
is.
To me. So they say sativa's more the head high, indica is kind of the body high.
That's what I need.
They call it indicouch.
Right.
Indica.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Okay. Yeah. I'm learning things here today.
Right, but like there's a strain. There's a strain called green crack, which yes, I should have known better just from that name. But like, I nearly threw up. I cried. I lost my mind. Totally paranoid. That doesn't help. But we need dosing guidelines. We need strain suggestions, and there can't be anything real and official until there's more studies.
You'd be great advocate.
I agree.
When this law goes into effect, I'm just wondering, like, I think about advertising. You think there's going to be billboards?
Yes.
You think there's going to be things on the bus for,
There already is.
do. There's
anyway.
Because I think it's going to be pretty huge.
For medicine.
It's going to be pretty huge. Pot in Illinois. I mean,
it is.
It's already starting to pop up even.
Yeah, it
is. A little bit.
We've been on our pilot program. I want to say we're in year 3, maybe.
On the medical.
Right, on the medical
cannabis.
And I will say, Illinois' pilot program was set up to fail. It was horseshit the way they wrote this. They made it so
my doctor,
hard to get.
He won't give me.
I don't get it.
I wanted a medical marijuana card because of my anxiety and insomnia. He said, "Well, that's not on the list." I'm like,
right.
It's not. So it is.
No, you have to be very
It's not.
specific.
Because I have chronic insomnia. I think I texted you one night. I'm like, I thought I was going to sleep without my meds, and I couldn't sleep without my med.
Yeah.
I can't. I cannot do it, and it's scary because I'm almost dependent.
Right. And that's part of what makes Illinois' program so difficult. I mean, now it's about to be a moot point. We're going to have recreational, so everyone will have access. You'll pay higher taxes on your recreational, and you owe way higher.
I wonder how it's going to affect the dealers, because I wonder if the dealers are going to do lower prices. I think so, because I don't think we're going to lose our weed dealers. I really don't.
We'll always have. There's always a black.
There's got to be a
market.
crossover time too, to get people acclimated to finally going and buying it like they do their groceries.
I wonder if they're going to be like what is with porn and like sneak and buy it and hide it, like people do with porn, like and when they used to rent porn in video stores, the back room, like what I have. And you haven't seen that, and I don't know if you will, but I have a back room, and I've got a porn library. And just so you know, I used to review porn movies today, interview porn stars. Don't think I'm a fucking freak, 'cause I'm not. I don't hide it, but people do. I wonder. You think that people in relationships, say a husband wife, you think a wife will go by without telling her husband and hide it, and like how people that need to be on diets like hide their Twinkies and ho-hos.
There's like people who have shopping addictions, and they go out shopping all day and bring it home and hide it from their
They'll
husband.
kill
or
their
wife.
mate before they tell them that they've
literally
lost the house.
Do you think this is going to be a thing?
People can have addiction to anything.
Big addictions too. Like,
Well, are you asking? Do I think there will be weird people doing, or I shouldn't say weird people. There will be
We're all weird people here.
Some tragic situations where people feel they can't be free about their legal cannabis usage, and it creates new problems. Absolutely.
That's what I wanted to know.
I do think that. And
do you think at Hot Dog Fest next year people are going to be smoking weed?
I hope so. I really hope so. I'll
and
go
get the total munchies and like
Yes.
Hot Dog Fest will love that.
it'll probably be banned in a public area.
Yeah, I
It
have a
is,
feeling it's
yeah.
probably
Like
like
smoking.
cigarettes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's banned technically in public with the medical card too.
Well, they're still going to drug test at work, on the weed thing.
That's the irony.
Right.
What? How do we get around that?
Because I actually, like, if you go to Colorado and smoke legally, and you come back here and they drug test you, you can actually be fired.
Right.
But I smoked it legally.
Crazy.
I know.
Right.
It's-
How are we going to get around that?
You know,
What do you think, Angela?
Well, I think it's going to be treated like alcohol, or at least I think it should be. I hope it is. Where like if you're running really heavy equipment and doing things where people could get hurt super bad, please don't be high
Like
and you put your
medical,
job
too.
at risk.
But after
know.
work, can't they go home
Yes.
after they've dealt with the kids and
Yes.
all of their responsibilities, instead of having a few drinks, smoke that joint?
Absolutely.
Why
because
can
it's-
they
Right.
not get insurance or keep a
You're right.
40-hour
Because
a
it
week
shows
job?
up on a drug test.
That's what
the
I'm
thing.
saying. I know it's not fair.
So like
though.
know.
a doctor could go home and drink himself crazy,
And it would be
and come
10
back the
times
next
worse.
day
Yep.
and
Do
like,
surgery.
pass like a test.
Right.
But
And it's
you smoke weed the
Right.
night before just so you can get to sleep,
just to sleep.
and
But
that's in your system for like
Maybe
90
you have
days,
an eating disorder.
depending
You
on-
want to eat,
Yep.
or you don't want to freak out. You just
There's
want to
so many-
calm down.
There's so many reasons that it's medically beneficial, but
better. How are we going to get around that? Do you
Politics.
know that
Well,
any kind of
I think, and I mean, wouldn't you think there's a way to test for levels and
Yeah,
how
there's-
recent, you know,
There's a
more than
saliva
the
test.
30. Okay,
But
tell me
that's,
about
like,
that because I
within-
actually don't know about it.
yeah, now they have like a saliva test. It basically looks like the same thing as like a pregnancy test, where it kind of like
Okay.
uses the fluid, and it tests the saliva in your mouth for like THC, and then like other drugs and stuff like that too. But I think with the saliva test, it only stays there for like 24 hours, 48 hours. So if you don't do anything like the day before and then you go in, I think you're okay.
Well, and I would hope that I don't know, I'm making things up. I want there to be a range that they can test for, something
Sure.
like
That
that.
would-
to
Should
say
be.
like
Good
They
idea.
should.
they should, and I
Like a blow
feel
detector,
like we could.
like
Well, they are working on that. And Illinois is already
To
pretty
bl-
much
like
has
a-
one. They haven't tested it out yet.
to blow. Yeah,
Yeah.
but how do you?
How do you?
test the level of like highness? Like, oh, you're too high to drive. Or,
Well, THC concentration, but the whole thing is problematic because I have my card. Some
Yeah.
people think I smoke a lot, but really I just
What's a lot?
well, that's what I'm saying. I
Everyone
don't
has
smoke
their
a lot.
different
I just
level,
stay
right?
like low grade, kind of stoned all the time, so I don't lose my shit. And but I have like a friend who grows weed in California, and she's like constantly on the dab. She's pouring liquid into her tea. Like she's made out of THC, and this woman fucking functions because her tolerance is there. So now, how do we have tests that allow for that? It's tough.
It's all
gonna
relative, and
it
it can't.
is.
And one test can't be good for every person. Just like
Right.
I was
Well,
saying
no, no,
earlier,
I know.
sometimes I feel like I'm a square trying to fit in a round world. Like today, you could just tell it was no matter how hard I
You're
tried,
glowing right
it
now.
didn't
You're
come
really
through.
you're in your element right here. Is she great?
Yeah, she really brings a lot to the table,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of mental health issues in this America.
Yes,
here.
I'm gonna do a quick break, and we're gonna talk about Chip in a second. Ready?
Smoke weed.
You're listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast. Please feel free to contact us at podcast@mkultramagazine.com.
So Angela interviewed Chip's Enough from Enough's Enough.
I did.
I've read. Go ahead. Let's talk about
Well,
that.
we talked about weed, Chip and I, and so this is a fun story.
I jammed with him.
He was my introduction to good weed. Chip was a High Times judge back in the day, and when I was 19, I moved into an apartment in Beverly, and we heard rock stars lived on the corner. So I got nominated to go knock at the door to ask for beer because none of us could buy it. So that's how I know Chip, and that it was only there a few months, but that led to like getting higher than I'd ever been.
He always smells like
Higher
fucking
life.
pot, doesn't he?
Oh my God. It was back. I don't know where he's at with it now, but
Nah, he still smokes.
I know he still smokes, but like then it was like
Killer weed.
well, just constant smoke joints like cigarettes. You know, there was always one going, but it was such an awesome environment for a young kid. Those were years when we were starting to get into heroin, me and my friends, and people. I'd already had one friend go off the deep end with crack. And here was this living room just full of the nicest, earthiest, most harmless pot smoke. And he would leave his back door open for me to like sneak in at night because a ska band lived in our house sometimes and I wouldn't have a bed. And it was such, I mean, you know, there's like, what,
Punk
6 horn
rock.
players there.
Kick ass.
So yeah, that is how I know Chip. And we reunited so I could interview him.
So yeah, tell us about the interview.
The interview was fun. We talked about weed, about legalization, about where he got some of his ideas on cannabis. He talked about his manager, who also managed Journey, some other ones, Herbert maybe. I don't know if I've got that name right, but
Not familiar.
either way, that was kind of the roots of it for
I
Chip.
jammed with him. He,
Did you?
yeah, Pat from the Smithereens.
Oh,
He
nice.
lived in Chicago for a while in the 90s and put together a bunch of people who were in local bands, and I was part of it. And so
Wow.
was...
So was Chip.
So was Chips Enough. So we played at Drink here, and they flew us down to Vegas and played there as well.
Awesome.
He was just a lot of fun, that guy.
Yes.
Real positive.
Yes.
Yeah, he's always
Super
like
nice.
in a good fucking mood.
Yeah, good
Cool
energy.
guy, yeah.
Really
You know,
down
like-
to
Just
earth.
never loved the music. Was the only thing. I was a little heavier. Like they weren't as heavy
yeah,
for me.
I was-
as
Yeah,
I liked.
they were a little light
Yeah.
A little
for
lighter
us.
For me,
They
yeah.
were.
I liked him. You know?
Yeah, I liked him too. When I knocked on their back door, I will never forget. I had on combat boots, my ex-boyfriend's jacket that had like KMFDM, skinny puppy. I did not look like an enough
Family.
enough man. And I wasn't. And I think that's how I got to be actual friends at that time with him and Donnie. I wasn't fangirling.
Donnie V.
I appreciated their musicianship, but really it was just the neighbor kid, you know.
Something fun too. Some like cool rock stars living down the
Yeah.
street. Nothing
Oh,
wrong
yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
I was very enamored by rock stars my whole life too. You know, I lived with one
Absolutely.
for a while.
Yes, you did.
I was a little enamored.
She was Al Jurgensen's girlfriend.
Oh, no kidding.
You know, so you
You
gotta.
can imagine. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have another whole
Yeah.
show you and I could do on
Yes.
that.
I'm glad
Right there.
that you two have met. This is
No,
really good.
I think
This
we're
is
going to be friends. Thank you.
we're not even we're getting closer to an hour. We still have a long way to go. A lot of things to talk about, and Angela and I have like talked about a few subjects. So I think the best thing to do right now is to do the contest thing. We'll come back about it. Cool. Okay, give me 30 seconds.
You're listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast. You can follow us now on SoundCloud, Facebook, as well as YouTube. Sign up and follow, and you can win your chance to get a set of tickets to see Pigface live this fall. Win a genuine voodoo doll from Quarter Kids in New Orleans, Louisiana, or a beard grooming kit from Killer Beards.
Oh yeah, Pigface tour's coming up. Pretty soon we'll start seeing a lot of these fuckers in my house. Cold Waves people. September's gonna be exciting, but we'll talk about that at the end of the show. Okay, now it's time. Bipolar dating. I've got quite. My friend Brian Stoneman once said, "Alex attracts the crazies." Now, we talked about this on the porch. That's the ultimate green room, by the way, isn't it? That porch.
I like, yes.
Got a barbecue. You could drink, smoke out there, jam out there.
Good
You can
view.
fuck out there if you want. I haven't done that yet. Why have I lived here 12 years and not fucked on my own porch? I've slept out there. I've passed out there.
Well, you got the Oriental now.
I don't know if I'm going to see her again. I don't.
Aw.
I mean,
Really?
I don't know.
You just don't know. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I want to, but I don't know. It was just weird.
You couldn't read it.
I can't read her, period.
Right.
No, I'm serious. I really can't.
Isn't that bothersome? Something? I can't stand when I can't.
I can't read her. I
get
mean,
a
at
feel
all. I
for
can't get a
somebody.
fix on her. I don't. I just
Yeah.
don't know.
It's very odd to me.
Like-
She's blocking you. Somehow.
She seriously knows me. I mean, take me to the Fine Arts Building. Who would
Yeah.
know that she's done her research on me? Seriously, I think that's what she said she did all day Thursday. Was researching. But so I've got a history, and some of these women are no longer with us. They've taken their own lives. It's extremely difficult to date a bipolar woman, especially when they don't want to take their meds.
Yes.
There's a reason for medication. How do you
Yes.
feel about that? How do you feel about people who need to be on medication that don't take it?
Okay, well, I always say medication's a very personal choice. And like I will full disclosure this room, I went off Prozac, which they had put me on. But it was, a general practitioner who put me on it, and he was letting me call the shots, which they should not do. Like, I felt good. Can I have more? So they doubled it, and then I don't remember most of November and December.
I was with a
literally.
woman once upon a time who said that she didn't like Prozac because she couldn't have an orgasm. I proved her
True.
wrong. I proved her wrong.
Oh, good for
Yeah,
you,
I
but
did.
it's harder
But
for
I-
a lot of us,
Yeah.
non women, and then that causes its own little
Depression.
mental problems.
Yeah, I can't
Yes.
come now.
Can't have an
How
orgasm.
great is this?
Nobody wants to fuck you if they can't make you come. It like fucks with their ego, and it does.
You don't know me. Well, Cassie had said, I know you take some things for your mental health a little bit.
Yeah, I'm on
like a lot of young
antidepressant.
women. You said you like how yours make you feel, right?
Yeah, Yeah, I am perfectly happy with what I'm taking and the level I'm taking it, and I feel like it's really helped me over the years.
I've learned that, and we spoke about this on the porch, and I'll bring it to our listeners and our viewers. And I absolutely think that crazy women are the best in bed.
I've heard that.
They absolutely are.
Well, you got passion, you know. You got to have somebody
No
that's
inhibitions.
really into
and
it.
more open-minded.
It's always
yes,
going to be way better.
not
just
worrying about what the neighbors are
You
thinking.
want to be the best
Crying,
fuck so you don't forget about 'em.
laughing,
And they are.
sweating.
You'll never forget about me. The crazy and the sex. You'll never forget.
Right.
Yeah. And I just don't like the roller coaster ride.
Yeah. So back to the medicine. I don't vilify medicine, and there's a good chance I will end up back on pills someday. Right now, I'm trying to.
So you're not taking
maintain
anything?
Just the medical cannabis right now. And
it works for you?
right now it does, but sometimes are better than others. And when I say times, I'm talking about sometimes spans of months or years. People get this idea that bipolar means your mood changes every hour. That's not true. I have 3 and 4 and 5 month manic periods. There's like photo evidence of it on my Facebook. That's when I start wrapping myself in Christmas lights naked and taking selfies. And
that's kind of hot, though. You know, I've seen those pictures,
I'm okay
actually.
With it, but,
I've seen those pictures.
but I'm telling you, you can kind of trace personally my mental health through that sort of thing. So right now, do I need Prozac? No. Will I in the future? Probably.
And you're okay with that?
I am okay with that.
And it's great that it exists, because once upon a time, they just threw you in a loony bin. Not in Bradley, Illinois. They put you in the cuckoo's nest. Your Basset
People
Buffalo
go there willingly,
and they sterilized you too, so you couldn't reproduce.
That's
and
right.
we live in a world now with science brings us the ability to be able to control these things.
Right.
So I mean, I was asked why the crazies are attracted to me, and I think it's just because of how they perceive my lifestyle. I think I am more open-minded than most people. I'm open about my life. I don't hide things. My life's literally, with Diary of a Damn Man, an open book. So I think that attracts, okay, this guy looks fun. Well, actually, you haven't seen me Monday through Friday. I just sit here, I come home, I make my food, I play some music, and I watch TV, and I go to bed. I live that life, but on the outside, the way I portray myself, a completely different person. Right. If you look at my Facebook, the guy's a wild man.
That's social media in general. Like,
you never know who you're getting. Yeah,
you only show the good, and I think that has a lot to do with mental illness too. I think that's actually causing
my God,
because you see everybody. It's like, why is this person happy 24/7? It's like, look, it took them like 2 hours to shoot that one picture.
Miranda Waddles, the girl that just turned 19, Brad and Dawn's daughter. And you met Brad and Dawn, and they were here for the barbecue 4th of July.
I like that family.
Yeah, and their daughter is just a doll, and she runs her writing. So for her midterm, she wrote a thing about social media and what it does to young women. Totally screws with your fucking head. And you're talking about posing for a picture forever. She wrote the greatest paper on that thing, and then she also wrote the dirt review for Motley Crue. She's just and it's girls like you and her to give me hope that I don't think that we're totally doomed in the future.
Right.
Totally, because I don't think that you want to date a pussy, and I don't think she wants to date a pussy, but a lot of guys are fucking pussies these days. You got to pussyfoot around what you say.
Yeah, they're just more metrosexual and like soft.
Not metrosexual, pussies. Like, seriously, it's like, I mean, such whiners, whatever. I should have just kissed her yesterday, shouldn't I? I should have fucking kissed her.
I think you should have kissed her.
Man up.
God damn it. Where was my AC when I needed it? Oh, fuck.
Context, though, is everything.
Next time. This way you make her wait a little bit, you know.
I don't know if I'm going to see her. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I could see her today. Who fucking knows?
You do?
Hey, you know what? It's be fun to talk about. And I need to hit another spot here, but I want to talk about music and rock bands. So everybody be quiet for a moment, please. We're going to go to our sponsor, a good friend, Nick in Wheeling, West Virginia, and his product, Killer Beards.
Want a killer look without breaking your wallet? Try Killer Beards. All beard products are made with natural ingredients to stop beard dandruff and itching before it starts, while giving you a smooth, silky beard that smells amazing. Choose from 5 amazing scents that will have everyone saying,
"Wow, that's a killer beard, and it sure does smell good."
Also available are shampoo and bars of rough cut soap. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Etsy at etsy.com/shop/Killer Beards. That's Killer Beards.
It's time.
Use the discount code MKUltra20 for 20% off. That's MKUltra20.
Who here has smelled Nick Huffman's beard?
Am I the only one?
No. Cass, did you smell it? Dawn Waddle smelled it.
I did not.
The women love the fucking smell of that product, Killer Beards.
It was killer smelling.
What did it smell like? I'm curious now.
Buttercups and rainbows and roses and manly.
I have not seen this side of you in a long
Sauce.
time, Ty.
Now's your chance to catch Pigface live November 15th in Cleveland, Ohio, all the way through November 30th in Chicago, Illinois. For tickets and other information, go to martinatkins.bigcartel.com. Hurry, tickets are selling out quick.
I'm going to talk about who's coming up on the show, and then we're going to talk about Van Halen. Do you want to jump in on this one? Van Halen and Van Hagar.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is good. So Thursday we're doing a show with Michael X. Christian. He does that great Marilyn Manson tribute, Misery Machine. He's actually staying here with his beautiful girlfriend. And they're going to be sleeping in the guest room under the David Lee Roth autograph thing. And then he's going to get into character. We're going to film him doing that for the YouTube show. And then we're going to play his original music, and we're going to have him on for an hour. Yeah. He is fucking fun.
Yeah.
And a really, really good friend of mine.
I met him a few years ago at your
yes.
barbecue 4th of July.
Yes.
Annual thing. He came
super
here with that
great guy.
Same beautiful girl. That same couple, right?
Yep. They are fucking hot
They
together.
look like they were born to be together.
Yeah.
Like they.
She's always goth.
She is the female version of him.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
And they're both pretty.
Yeah.
That's the weird thing about him doing Manson is like he has a chin. Manson doesn't have a chin, and Manson isn't pretty.
No,
Mike is pretty.
Yeah, Mike's a little prettier. Yeah.
And he drinks girly drinks. And there's gonna be a full moon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I asked the Asian to come, the Oriental to come and enjoy the full moon with me. She gave me a crescent moon thing when she gave me that tea, and an iron-on that she made. She's an artist. And so then we have him, and on the 25th, the Joy Thieves, we have Dan Milligan, and you might remember this guy. Guess who's back in town? Matthew Clark, the musician. He was in Mary's Window. He's was living in Austin, Texas for a while. He's back. He's part of the Joy Thieves. We're gonna have them on, and I'm gonna ask Reed Himes to be the co-host since you're gonna be with your family. Lucky you being in California.
Yeah.
And a beautiful time of year.
I won't be here either.
Yeah.
So. And please talk to Amanda about doing the filming.
Want to do it?
So we have to get this on film. And then I talked to
coming to
Jared,
LA. If anyone listening out there, by the way, any LA
Jared
listeners?
Luge of ChemLab and Hellbent and Pigface and Prude. He's going to come on while he's in town for Cold Waves with Reed Himes, and we're going to relive the whole early ChemLab years with these guys.
Cool.
I'm also working on trying to get Curse Mackey and Rona Roughheart in studio to do a show. They have keys to this house, so they should do the fucking show. They have keys here. And then brilliant Bill, we could not have done this show without Bill. And you remember him, the beard guy, the Greek guy, the big beard, Killer Beard. And he's working on getting us Mary Biker from Gay Bikers on Acid on the show. Yeah, who's going to be in town for Pigface. That's an interview.
Wow. I haven't heard that band's name in a while.
I played them on college radio. I played them on college radio just because of their name, and they had a song. The single I played was After Suck There's Blow.
They are just great. I remember them. I love to dance to them. They were just
good
fun.
fucking band.
Yeah, they are.
So, all right, before we go, let's talk about Van Halen, Van Hagar. I'm going to let you open.
I don't like them. And I know I should. I was born in 1975. I play guitar. I was a metal kid before I was an industrial and a punk kid, and something in my brain just won't let me like Van Halen. But when Sammy Hagar happened, it was like, it was repulsive to me. I was so upset. It was like sand and
they weren't fun
beach
anymore.
and tequila,
I
and
agree
this
with
man
her.
I mean,
was
they're
like middle-aging over Van Halen, and it was just terrible to me.
Van Halen was the ultimate summer party band.
Yeah, like
with
you were
Dave.
in the woods, and the cars are open, and the jams are going, and you're smoking your first joint.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Van Halen. It's like when I go to the beach, I'm always thinking, got a drink in my hair and my toes in the sand, and all I really need is a woman. Understand?
Yeah.
Ow!
Man,
I love Dave. I love David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
He's no Freddie Mercury, but he's his own person. And
He was their singer, the only one that ever mattered for that
so
band.
I actually know Eddie Van Halen's wife, Janie Lazinski. He did music on a porn movie and then got a AVN award for it. And the publicist was Janie Lazinski. She's one of the people that helped me get into the business. I think she was working at Metro Pictures then. Oh, yeah, Metro, because that's how I met Kelly Erickson. That's another fucking story. The lady that always puts a Jack Daniels on mine between her fucking big boobs. She's also a good friend. And oh, my God, I miss her. She's a mommy now. But, yeah, she was fun to hang out with. Janie married Eddie. I have a Sammy Hagar story. I was telling you that when I moved here in 98, and our issue, the first issue I put out in Chicago had Rob Zombie on the cover. It's where he left White Zombie. Yeah. Great story. Rob Zombie was going big solo. But I got invited to Sammy Hagar, unveiled his Cabo Wabo tequila at the Hard Rock and did a show with the Wabaritas.
Right.
So I'm there and I'm hanging out, and Cinderella Pussy from the Throat Cult was there. And so she was going to take me backstage. So I'm handing out the magazine because it was free back then. And nobody in this audience knew who the fuck Rob Zombie was.
Oh,
you talk about how different the fucking worlds are in a big city like Chicago?
Right. Oh, that is
completely.
So true,
like these people were all like, they were Loop, suburbans, Northern Indiana people, Northwest Indiana people who they were still listening to fucking Skinner, I think.
Right.
Watching NASCAR.
Right.
And having, what do you call those things? Bonfires in the cornfield and sitting around drinking beer and playing cornhole.
Sure.
Cornhole, where I'm from, is a different thing. It's not bags or the boards or whatever the fuck it is. Cornhole is
Cornholio.
Just like, and there's ATM, but that's a whole different show, right? I like Van Halen. I haven't heard the new stuff they've done with Dave, but I like them with Dave, and I like Dave with Dave. And
do they call it Van Hagar? Or
people called it Van Hagar then, but they weren't. They should have.
Yeah, they should have actually.
They were a different band, and I saw Dave solo when he first came out with Steve Vai and Billy Sheehan in his band, and I saw Van Hagar like a month later, and there was no comparison.
Right.
Sammy's great on his own too. Yeah. Sammy Hagar is fucking phenomenal. He's a fun guy.
Yeah. Well, he did Montrose too, and Montrose was cool.
Absolutely.
That was like his best days for me, and then I Can't Drive 55 stuff was good, but. The Eat 'em and Smile and him playing with Stevie Vai.
Steve Vai is still fucking amazing.
Some amazing records.
Well, so you don't like Van Halen? That's good.
David Lee Roth wins both ways as a singer of Van Halen and also a better solo artist.
Yep.
I like him, personality and just performer persona. That's a lot of fun, and I didn't see any of that fun with Sammy Hagar,
nope.
And it felt like something got neutered. That's the best
way
to
is
put it
fucking a great analogy.
So.
Hey, this was a great fucking show. Ty, I love seeing you glow. Because I think you just made a friend here. I think you really did. Cassie, you're amazing as always. Yeah, well, this is what this show's supposed to be about.
Put a lot
you're
out
great.
There, a lot of
Angela, tell everybody how they can find you online.
So you can find me at my blog. It's hosted through WordPress, but if you search Coffee or Suicide, you can also find me on Facebook at
Instagram.
Coffee or Suicide and Instagram coffee.or.suicide because it was taken without periods. But that's how you can find me. Come read. I got lots to say.
Yeah, and you should Google her name, Angela Denk, and you can find her that way. She's German. Can you tell?
Yeah, a little bit.
She's so beautifully blonde.
Yep. And then I like how they both have the same...
Yeah.
What's her name? Rosie
the
Riveter.
Yes.
And you didn't plan this shit.
No. Nope.
Yeah, we called each other.
We're just strong women.
Girls, you got to do that for a photo.
I love that shit. She can do it. I talked to the Asian about that too somehow yesterday.
We got to do a shot like that.
Yeah. Oh my God, you girls. And we got to get pictures, but everybody, I know we got to be back here Thursday. Thursday's at 7:30. Meeting is at 7. You can't do Thursday?
Cannot.
Okay, we'll get somebody else in here to do it. Cassie can help me carry that show. Or you can bring Amanda and teach her how to run the gear. You think that can happen? Let's get her here.
We'll see.
All right. All you people out there listening, just look. Click like, subscribe. Help us. If you listen to our show and watch our show, all you have to do is click like or subscribe. It's going to help us to the point where we can get some money and then actually get sponsorship. But we can't do it without likes and traffic. We have the traffic. We have plenty of traffic from all over the world, but you need to click like or subscribe or just comment. It's not that hard. You do it to my stuff. We just met in person for the first time today. So just throw us a bone. Right? You guys help me out here?
Absolutely.
And then that's it. What a great show. We'll talk
Thank
to you.
you, everybody.
We'll be back
Thank you.
Thursday, and then we're going to be off on the weekend of the 18th, and I'm actually going to try to have a life. And then we'll be back on the 25th with the Joy Thieves. Thank you for listening.
You've been listening to the MK Ultrasound podcast with your hosts, Alexander, Tycoon, and Cassandra Belazik, and I'm your executive producer, Too Dark. Please listen to us next time to see what's going to happen next. This has been the MK Ultrasound podcast.